Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I'm starting with July 15th. I know I ended the second week of July with July 15th because I wanted you to make sure that you didn't miss the very next week, which now I'm talking about July 15th through the 21st. And what is so astounding about July 15th? Mars will exactly conjunct Uranus. Now, sometimes, for some reason, when we get these planets exact, the things don't happen exactly on that day, but I can guarantee you we're going to be feeling it today, and things are going to start happening today. And Mars, the planet of war and violence and anger, fire, weapons, all of the things that deal with hostility. And like I said, war. This is where there's going to be some major unexpected events and strikes. Now, Uranus and Mars sit together in the No Chatra called Kritika, which is a knife, a sword. The blade gets directly to the point, and it is a very angry, hot No Chatra. People with this No Chatra in their birth charts have issues around anger. So I guarantee you there's going to be major blow-ups. Now, another thing is that 2 degrees of Taurus is conjunct the demonic fixed star Algol, which is the star of beheading, people losing their head. It deals with all sorts of tragedy. So I am not looking forward to this conjunction, this energy going on in planet Earth, but like what I keep telling everyone, it all is happening for a divine reason. It may not look like it, but this is what finally needs to explode and come to. This has been going on way too long, and it is time that the truth comes out, and the explosiveness, everything is exposed. Now, also on the 15th, we have a difficult aspect of Mercury in a quincunx, an 8668 relationship with Saturn. That is tough because, let me just say, there's some things that may not be able to be repaired. It's going to be very, very difficult. And this will pertain to the thinking mind because Mercury rules thinking and Saturn is heaviness. People are in a very heavy and dark place around this time. And really, you've got to start looking at protection in a serious way for all of us. So with Uranus on on Mars, in the No Chatra Kritika, but conjunct the star Algol, which actually conjuncts the midheaven of Donald Trump's chart. This is very, very difficult for Trump. I don't know if he goes to jail or if someone tries to assassinate him, but something big is rolling out. And you got to consider half of the United States is siding with him, if not more by this time. People are enraged and people are angry, and there's going to be violence in the streets. And I think also earthquakes and war. I don't even know if it's not just this is a big quake of human emotion too. Oh, this looks very, very difficult for the world. I am sorry. I am not being very optimistic now, but there is reason for this, and you have to be prepared mentally. You do. This is important. The world won't always be like this, but let me just say this is all happening to bring out the truth, to bring freedom to the world. So we have to go through the tunnel, through the fire to get there. You'll be hearing many psychics and many astrologers talk like this. I am not the only one, but if they know anything about what the planets are doing, trust me. So, the 15th is very, very disruptive. And let's move on to July 16th. July 16th, the moon will move into Scorpio. And it is still in the nakshatra called Vishaka for most of the day, which does deal with triumph and energy. And what they say about Vishaka is Vishaka doesn't mind stepping on people's toes to get what it wants. That's the energy of this moon being in Scorpio. And the moon is exactly opposed to the Uranus-Mars conjunction. This is emotional turmoil. This is emotional events that look serious in this world. And people do not believe in governments anymore. They don't believe in the law. They don't believe in what's happening. They see the truth in the corruption. That's what's coming out. That's what people are expressing, and that is what they're saying. So, July 16th, let's move to July 17th. And the moon is still in Scorpio. And by around 3 in the afternoon, Central Standard Time, it will be in the nakshatra Anuradha, which is actually not such a bad nakshatra, although it is ruled by Saturn, which brings out a heaviness, a seriousness. But the moon will be oppose Mars and Uranus, but particularly closer to opposing Jupiter, but it will be conjunct the fixed star Antares. What I am seeing is all-out war. Don't know if it's a world war, a war in the United States, and wars going on all over the world, but there is violence and unrest everywhere at this time. And even Saturn sits in the 4th house from the moon. The whole time the moon is in Scorpio, yesterday and today. 4th house is land. And what that can represent is attacks on the land. So this is not looking so good. There is trouble going on everywhere. Now I'm looking at July 18th. And the moon has moved up into the last part of Scorpio. And it's in the nakshatra called Jyeshta. And Jyeshta is said to be a very difficult star. And while the moon nears the last portion of the water sign, it becomes Gandanta. So I'm looking at about 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. And the moon is sitting around 28, 29 degrees of Scorpio, which is Gandanta. Gandanta means losing control, a sense of feeling like drowning. It is treacherous. Right before, when it's at the last degree of a water sign, and even when it moves into the 1st degrees of the fire sign, it still is Gandanta, but it's fiery. Emotions, feeling like you can't get control, a drowning. And Jyeshta deals a lot with jealousy, so be aware. There is a lot of crazy emotions going on throughout the day. It is not a particularly good day to do anything important. Lay low. So now I'm looking at July 19th. And looking at July 19th, we have the moon will be, for a good portion of the day, most of the day, in Sagittarius, but in the nakshatra called Mula. And I don't mean money when I say Mula. Mula is all about basically destruction. And there is a lot of destruction going on and emotional energy. Mula is ruled by the god Nariti, which is the god of destruction. So you just like people are really in a bad place, especially with all that's been happening this whole week. It's like things feel like they're in a very destructive mode. But to have the moon in Sagittarius sits with me better because Sagittarius is about the truth. It is about finding truth, and it is about law and order. So things are having to shake out and get better. Rahu will sit in the 4th house from the moon, which means, yes, there can be some destruction to the land wherever we are. So, and there's a lot going on that we cannot see. Because Ketu sits in the 10th house from the moon. This can represent losses, big losses around government and government affairs. So, looking at the 19th, Venus will actually be in a trinal aspect to Rahu. And this, on a personal side, can mean extreme emotion. Giving feelings, giving love, giving affection to your partner. Going out and being with loved ones is what this day can bring. That's on the positive side of what we need to do to feel good. So now I'm going to move it to July 20th. And we still, of course, have the moon in Sagittarius, but now it's in the nakshatra Purva Ashada. And if there isn't already all-out war going on in the streets or somewhere, violence in the world, this nakshatra, of course the moon goes here every month, but it is a nakshatra that deals with declarations of war. So, but this is mainly a truth-seeking nakshatra. Finding truth, getting to the truth, finding our answers. And most of all, I hope we're looking to find some peace because this is heavy, what I've been seeing. But I think we're almost through the worst part of it, I hope, just for the violent blow-ups. Like I said, getting closer to the elections, really everything is still heating up and coming to a big explosive events that are going to be a part of the rest of 2024. Get ready. So let me move to the 21st, which is the last day I'll talk about because for the 3rd week of July. Now on the 21st, the moon will move into Capricorn, and we have the full moon on the 21st. So this is a beautiful full moon, I have to say, but it is with Pluto. And Pluto is the planet that deals with major transformational changes. And it does actually rule nuclear energy. When we discovered Pluto, that's when we discovered nuclear energy. So I pray that there was nothing being used with nuclear energy, but look out with the violence that I see happening with Uranus, Mars, and Jupiter all in the sign of Taurus throughout this month and next. I wouldn't doubt it if there wasn't something this dramatic, truly. And I do see where there is going to be earthquakes still. Really, July and August are the most serious. And then we get close to the eclipses in October. So we've got a lot going on here. And the moon being in Uttara Ashada is still a nakshatra. The Ashadas are about finding truth. But being with Pluto is deep and dark. And I want to say, during this full moon, it's like everything's been building to a culmination point of extremes. But through this full moon, there will be a transformation of the truth being revealed. Also, we have Mercury in an exact square to Uranus. So there can be some breakthroughs with ideas and personal. Pay attention. It's where you might feel really stuck, but then you'll have a breakout of an idea that is brilliant, genius, that sits outside the box, and you will find a mental like aha experience. So use this energy of this full moon wisely. Now there's still so many other aspects happening. So this full moon is very, very eventful. As a matter of fact, on the 21st, the sun is in an exact trine to Neptune. And I believe Neptune being deceit, deception, not seeing things clearly, with the sun being in trine, we can see more things about what the sun represents, bringing it out there, the truth. What does the sun represent? Leaders, presidents. Being in trine to Neptune, finally, some real truth is coming out about the corruption and the disgrace of all that's been happening throughout the world all of this time. We're starting to really get a clear picture of what's been going on and why possibly the media has been lying to us all this time. And also on the 21st, Mars will trine Pluto. And Pluto is this power of control. With Mars being in a perfect trine to Pluto, we will see the controls that all the governments around the world have been keeping us in the dark, and why. The truth is really exploding and coming out. And it's going to make a lot of people angry. We can't help it. It's just been hidden for so long. And it may seem like really dark times, but I got to tell you, it's been dark. Now we see what's been happening. And it may be ugly, but it does give us the truth. Now we know what we're dealing with. Now we know how to heal it. So from this point on, from everything that's happening, truth will be revealed. It's going to take till the end of this year and part of 2025, but I promise you, going through all this will bring us to a better world. It's time to break free. So with that, I think I'll close with this dramatic third week of July. But stay tuned to the last week. There's more to come, always more to come. But I want you to know, stay in tune, stay connected to your divinity within, your soul, your spirit, because when you do, you are divinely protected, and that is something I can guarantee you. You will be protected. Look at it all, if you can, very hard to do, as a movie unfolding. You are protected. So with that, if you want to learn more about me, if you would like a reading and any of the things that I talked about before, go to my website, galacticcenter.org. And don't forget, sign up for the Galactic Planner. You're going to love that. You'll get your first month free to try it out with me. Go to galacticplanner.com. Thank you.